Hello everyone, it is Xur week number 7. The first one for PC launch. So we're going to do this one on PC for fun, because it's fun, we're having fun. He is on IO in that little cave thing over here. Figured I'd show you the way for our new PC friends. And he's just in the back here. Hey man, let's see what he's got. The weapon of the week is Darcy, the sniper rifle. Quite a good looking sniper rifle. The main bonus is where you get critical information about an enemy when you scope in on them, and when this perk is active, for that, you get increased precision damage and target acquisition. The increased damage is only about 6%, not a whole lot. The critical information isn't really that critical to your experience. As far as a PvE sniper, the low impact isn't really that great for damage. It's maybe okay, but there are far better choices for your power slot, even just as a sniper. And then beyond snipers, there's even better choices for your power slot. In PvP, I can see the higher rate of fire being handy for follow-up shots, along with the increased target acquisition for additional stickiness on console. But again, I don't think there's anything that stands out too much about the sniper for PvP purposes compared to other snipers. This is probably one of the lowest rated exotic weapons in the game right now. Hunters, you are getting Knucklehead Radar. We're also getting a public event coming in. Great. The main perk gives you the radar when aiming. It's pretty simple.
The Vex are marching to integrate, Guardian. You know it must be done.
Yeah, I know it must be done. The Xur video. Okay. For starters, PvE. I don't think this is very valuable at all. Your radar isn't super important for PvE purposes. There's maybe a couple of niche moments where it is, but otherwise this is not really for PvE in my opinion. In PvP, however, it has a lot more value due to how slow the radar can be to return when aiming or blinking or any of that. Not to mention Third Eye isn't a perk on weapons anymore, so it gives this perk, providing radar while aiming, a good amount of value as well. If you're someone like me who really abuses the radar in Destiny, you may want to consider this helm. It is a solid pickup, in my opinion. Titans, you are getting Actium War Rig. The main perk is where auto rifle ammo is slowly reloaded into your magazine from your reserves. It happens at a rate of about 10% magazine to restoration ratio. So, for example, if your gun has 40 shots, you're probably going to get about 4 shots replenished every couple of seconds or so. If you're firing a full magazine, you're going to get about 2 to 3 ticks of this happening. Although if you're using something like Sweet Business, you're going to get 5 or 6 or so. Auto rifles are pretty strong right now in all aspects of the game, at least on console they are. And PC, they're pretty good as well. So right now, I can absolutely recommend this chest. The more the more auto rifles you're using, the better. I typically run double auto rifles a good amount of the time in the raid, which makes this thing, pretty solid pick. In PvP, it's good for reloading as you transition from fight to fight, but I don't think reloading manually during any sort of transition or downtime is really too much to ask for. Considering the size of auto rifle magazines being pretty large, I don't know how much this is going to come into play in actual combat. People seem to be pretty high on it, though, in PvP. I think I would probably use something else, but that's just me. Maybe I'm not giving this thing enough value in PvP, but in PvE, definitely worth a purchase. Warlocks, you are getting Eye of Another World. where you get static cooldown reduction on your abilities and you highlight targets. The cooldown reduction is equal to 1 mod of each type, grenade, melee, and class ability, so that's about 3 mods worth of cooldowns, which is about 6 to 7 seconds off of your cooldowns per ability. This helm isn't too bad if you're a passive player, but as we learned recently, something like Nezarek's Sin, Crown of Tempest, and Karnstein Armlets are all pretty darn capable of getting more ability cooldown via their exotic perks. So I would say that if you don't have any of the others or don't feel like fulfilling any of those requirements, then sure, you can wear this. The target highlight is pretty neat, but otherwise, the other helms are capable of getting more reduction on your abilities. However, this helm is probably going to be better in PvP than PvE, and at least compared to the other helms, it's probably going to be a little bit better in PvP because you're not getting kills as often in PvP. So therefore, the static cooldown reduction might end up paying off a little bit more compared to the others, because if you're not getting kills as often, then the passive regeneration or cooldown reduction is going to be a little bit nicer. And that's going to be your Xur for week number 7. Sorry about the lack of videos this week. I was trying to enjoy the launch of the PC version of the game, which is very, very nice. I'm also experiencing a little bit of burnout. I might do an update video on that whole situation, but as usual, you can check the description for my weekly updates. I have a piece of sponsored content, a little bit of a tech review coming up probably next weekend. Shouldn't impact any Destiny content in any way, but this was from NVIDIA, and I actually use NVIDIA products, so it was one of those very rare times where a sponsored thing actually worked out. So I said, yeah, and now that I've gotten completely off topic, I'm going to head to bed. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a great weekend, and I'll see y'all next time.